What's up, you guys? ShartimusPrime here, doing another Marvel Legends action figure review on the Amazon exclusive Venom, Agony, and Riot 3-pack. And oh man, I'm excited. We're finally going to finish our Life Foundation. I love the feeling of finishing off a team. Anyway, we get some nice looking artwork right here on the front of the box, which, by the way, this box is not nearly as large as I initially thought it was going to be. Here's a picture of it next to my Rhino Build-A-Figure in the Vintage Collection card back. So yeah, that's not as large as I thought it was, but it does weigh a lot. You can hear that, right? You're not seeing it, but yeah, anyway, on the sides, you can see that we have headshots for each of the characters, and then on the back, you get those same headshots with read-ups for each character. So if you want to read it for Venom, go ahead and check it out and pause it right now. There's the read-up for Agony. If you want to read it, pause it right now. And there's the read-up for Riot. And then we get a cool-looking Venom logo on the top. Not much more at the bottom, so let's get to it and crack this thing open. But first, if you're trying to hear Marvel Legends, you can do so.
Search your feelings, you know it be true. Dorkside Toys is a store for you. Link below.
And here's all three figures out of the packaging, and I gotta say, there's substantial paint going on here with these figures. They feel like they're painted pretty well for the most part. However, no new body molds at all. All reused body molds for these figures. I knew that before I bought it. But anyway, we do get accessories that I want to look at, so let's get a closer look at those, and then we'll take a closer look at the figures. Or we'll take a closer look at the figures one by one with their accessories. How about that? Yeah, that'll be more fun. So there is some assembly required with this 3-pack set, and one of those things you got to do is put the Agony head on the Agony body, which I think looks really good. Nice clean white paint right over here, and I like the sculpt. The eyes look great. I really like the hair. This was a very stiff head to put on here. Like the tightness is just really bad with this one. I recommend consistently heating this up with a hair dryer. Hasbro, I think they just missed the mark as far as nailing the diameter of that ball peg for the hole, or the hole inside the head, right? Because this ball peg we've seen before, it's the head that's new. So it's just not really loose enough. It needs to be just a little bit more loose. But yeah, nice paint right over here. And you can see how this whips around. And it gets in the way once in a while when I get her into some poses. To get something like this with a bendy wire in it would be awesome. But hey, I do like the sculpt of it. So it looks pretty nice, and I really like the amount of paint applications that we're seeing on this figure too. It looks pretty good. They didn't nail all of the details. I believe she's supposed to have spikes coming out of the back of her elbows over here, so I feel like we're missing some of that. And I don't know if they 100% nailed the colors for what I imagined her to look like. I don't know. I was kind of thinking a little bit more on the purple side than the pink side, but this seems to be more on the pink side. There is a lot of paint on the back of the figure, so that's pretty good. And then you can see we get the spiky, flamey, symbiote kind of looking. Symbiote, yeah, I just said that. But nice paint right over here. And then she does have brand new patas, so you get these kind of symbiote toes right over there. Not looking too bad. As far as her accessories go, she just comes with a set of fisted hands. I wish she had hands that had bigger claws, you know what I mean? Maybe like if she had the scream claws or something like that, that would have been pretty cool. But these are like just regular hands with long nails on them, you know? Come on. You need some big old symbiote gashers, right? Right? Supposed to be this ugly. I just didn't know he was supposed to be this ugly. This is not the color I was expecting Riot to look like. I was thinking more of like a grayish blue color. You can see we have some purple right here in the middle of the face. I hate this right here. This is just awful to me. I don't like how the mouth looks. It looks like a misfire. At first I thought it was a misfire. Then I was looking at the side. I was like, wait, this isn't that bad. Or maybe all of it, it's just, I don't know if that's everybody else's, but this just looks really bad to me. I'll have to check out other people's reviews. Maybe I'll leave an annotation if I check out how other people's figure looked. And yeah, I might seek a replacement. And then we have this metallic silver right here in the eyes, which isn't too bad. It's just when I'm taking photos, sometimes the glare is just kind of annoying, and I like the more matte white right over here. It just works easier for the lens. You can even see right now, like how, you know, Agony's not reflecting so much light in the eye nearly as much as Riot over here. And the body mold choice right here, I don't think is optimal. I don't know, man. I was thinking more like a saber tooth kind of sized dude. This guy's like closer to the Hulk. I know they're reusing the Monster Venom body mold over here. And you do have to assemble the back piece, which is very easy to do. It just took a second to pop that on there. They gave us a little bit of paint on the back, and I do like the sculpt of this body mold overall. I'm used to seeing it, you know, so there's not a whole lot to say, but you can see that they did add like this purplish gray color throughout. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like the color scheme that I think of when I think of Riot, nor is it the size of Riot when I think of Riot. So, I don't know. I'm mostly disappointed in the figure, but like if this was a different character, I would like it more. I guess like my problems with it are just the inaccuracies to how I feel like the character is supposed to look. You get your sickle hand right over here, or a scythe hand, and it looks pretty good. I do like it. You can put it on either side just fine. It's easy to work with. You know, you just have to angle it correctly. Some angles it works better than others. I find it easier if it's kind of pointing downward like that, and I think the colors match pretty well, and I do like the symbiote goopiness to it. Yeah. So I am thrilled that we're finally getting a comic version of Venom with this Omega Red body mold, and they've added the tendrils right there in the holes, which look really good to me. This head sculpt, I kind of like it, but I also really don't. I feel like this is just too much tongue. They may have gotten this from a specific artist or comic cover, but like, holy crap, this thing can go so far back, he could almost lick his own culo, you know what I mean? And the eyes do have that silver reflective paint, which kind of looks cool, but at the same time, it just creates a lot of glare in some of the photos. I do like the texturing on the tongue right here. That does look pretty neat, but then I feel like I'm looking at guinea pig teeth a little bit when I look at those teeth right there in the front. So this is not my preferred head sculpt out of the two. I like the wrinkles and everything right there on the side. Missed the mark just a tad right there on that eye. But this Eddie Brock transitioning head sculpt is incredible. Holy crap, they nailed it with this thing. I love this head sculpt. I love the motion of it going across right over there. That looks great. The hair, the face sculpt looks really good. They have that photoreal tech thing going on. I don't know if you can see the red in his eyes, but he has red in his eyes right there. They even painted some of the symbiote goop on the forehead. Oh man, that looks so dope. And I got good clean paint apps right over here on this side as well. See that jaw wrapping around? He's licking his own nipple right now. Oh my god. This review's gotten a little bit weird. Sorry, Gen Z. Sorry, you guys. Sorry. Hopefully you're still watching. You're probably not, though. But anyway, looking at the chest right over here, you can see a little paint splotch. And then it looks ugly right over there, too. So there are mishaps with this. But it somehow looks really clean right over here and right over here. And then on the back, it looks a lot cleaner. So I think this is just a bad shot. This is just bad luck right over here. That sucks. But anyway, you could bend that back and paint still looks good. Bend that forward. There's no paint there to begin with. Eddie Brock butt, Eddie Brock legs, and we do have these reused forearms right over here, and you do not get the dots on the back of the hands. You can see some of the paint missing right over there, and that looks pretty solid right there. He does have a set of fisted hands and a set of clawing hands, so even pairs right there. Again, missing just a tad bit of paint on the clawing hands. And I wanted to mention the plastic inconsistency here. I don't know why this has to be different plastic than this, but yeah, I mean, you can see that's two different. This is glossy black, and then it's matte black. I don't know, and I think we have a similar issue right here with the arms, so I would appreciate more consistency. If most of it was like this, I'd like it a little bit more, So I'm not going to do thorough articulation segments, but I did want to talk about some of the joints. Like, for instance, Venom over here, I do feel like he has a little bit of the gummy joints at the knees and at the elbows, which some have said is a result of poor quality, but I've never seen it like that. Just based off of things like Bobby Valla have said, it's more of like them inputting the wrong number of flex in the plastic right there, more so than it being, like a cheap move and using something cheap instead of more quality. The head, you get the same articulation you're used to. For Agony over here, it's tricky to move her head around. Again, very stiff head joint right here. You want to make sure you're heating this up, but she can look forward a lot easier than back. You can rotate it around. I didn't heat it up just now or anything, but when I first put it on there, I did heat it up first. So just act with caution with this thing, man. I don't want to break this, and I don't want you guys breaking yours either. And then, yeah, with Riot, I mean, nothing a whole lot to say. We're familiar with this head articulation. Now, to measure out these three figures, you can see that the Venom figure figure is standing at about 7.5 inches tall, and then right over here is standing closer to 8 inches, and then Agony is standing at about 6.5 inches. And then for a Venom comparison, we have one of the Hyperion body mold release Venoms with my favorite head sculpt from them with the green right there on the tongue, and then we have our new 3-pack one right here, and then we have the 2-pack with the Null. And I think these are all really cool, but I am more stoked to see this than anything else because I feel like us Marvel Legends fans have been asking for a Venom on this Omega Red body for quite a while. To see it finally come into fruition over here just makes me so happy that the voice of the fans is actually heard by Hasbro. But anyway, I want to see some head swaps because this is not my favorite Venom head sculpt. I really want to see how this one looks over here. Okay, so that doesn't look god-awful. Actually, that doesn't look too bad. This isn't my favorite head sculpt either for Venom, but I think this actually looks pretty good. That head sculpt doesn't look bad either. Kind of reminds me of the movie version, sitting on there like that, especially with the movie version body mold. I want to see how the green slime face looks like. That looks alright. I don't know, what do you say? I feel like it sits a little high on the ball peg. Yeah, this may not be my favorite with this body mold. Yeah, I think I'm leaning towards the Null 2-pack head sculpts. Here's the alternate head for the Venom from the 2-pack, and that looks pretty good on there too. So I guess swapping around with the Null 2-pack Venom head sculpts seems to be the coolest to me anyway. I don't know, what do you guys think? Which one's your favorite head sculpt? I don't know, I'm starting to think that this one might be my favorite one on this body. And then I had to show off this Venom figure next to the animated Venom figure, which I still like, but obviously I do like this one a whole bunch more. Same body mold and everything like that. Let's just see a head swap out of curiosity. No, I'm having a hard time finding myself happy with one of these head sculpts. Then for the last Venom figure comparison with its tongue out, you can see we have the Toy Biz Amazing Spider-Man series Venom figure, which I have noted as being my favorite Venom figure of all time, I guess. Maybe at this point I feel a little bit differently about it. I still love this thing. It has its issues and everything. No head articulation. That's a big downer. But still, I'm thrilled that Hasbro has made a Venom that's the same size as this Venom right over here. Venom Tongue Party, yeah! Then here's right next to another figure utilizing this body mold. We have the Monster Venom figure. Oh, he just missed the party. Too bad. He had the tongue out and everything. And then here's Agony next to the Shriek figure, which the body mold's based off of. You know, I just think this is a perfect use of this body mold for this character, aside from the lack of bigger clawing hands. Just wish you had bigger claw hands right there. And in case this Venom figure ends up being your Venom figure of choice for your collection, here he is next to the Renew Your Vows Spider-Man, and we have Carnage right over here. And in case this is not your preferred Spider-Man, here is the first appearance Spider-Man right over there, if you want to see how that scaled. And I wanted to see how the regular Eddie Brock head looks on this new figure, but I just wanted to do it again right there, and it looks really good. Oh, that's pretty awesome. Hold on a second. I'm itching to do a little bit of a transition stop motion. Oh, yeah. Then here's the figures next to a Spider-Man figure. We have the Vintage Collection Spider-Man figure with the Black Symbiote custom head sculpt on there, which is where that head sculpt should have gone instead of the Renew Your Vows head sculpt, which I tried it on, and that looks way cooler. The colors match very well, and yeah, it looks really good. I do like that. If you're interested, link in the description below. And to complete this team, we have our full Life Foundation right over here with Riot, Agony. We have Scream, Lasher, and Phage right over there. And one thing that has disappointed me with these two figures after grabbing these three is that each of these three have a little bit of shimmer in the paint or the plastic in the figures. Like, each of them do, and neither of these two do. And that's frustrating, especially with her, because I'm not the biggest fan of this body mold choice for this figure. I mentioned Sabretooth earlier, and when I bring out the AOA Sabretooth, I'm like, oh, that's the size of Riot right there, right? No? I feel like this would have been perfect scaling for Riot. This one's just a little bit too big, a little bit too bulky for Riot. And then when you bring out the Venom figure, like, it's still larger than the Venom, so you would have had, you know, I don't know, some size difference between the three figures still, no? So kind of wish they went with this body mold, altered it, of course, so that it could be a much more scaled version of Riot. And then here's all three figures. Next to your average 6-inch scale figure, we have the Marvel Legends Big Time Letdown Spider-Man. Whoa, all three of you have a lot of teeth, and I heard you like to eat brains. I got the meal just for you. There you go. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, don't be shy, show some love to the channel by simply clicking that like button, and if you're new here, hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell. And I do ask you guys for a lot, and I'm feeling like giving back a little bit thanks to Whatnot. I do have a live stream tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, for a Mafex Black Costume Spider-Man giveaway. So check that out, link in the description below. And these three figures, I don't see them all the same. Like, I can't give them all the same rating. I'm really happy with the Venom figure. Like, that is the one that made me happiest for sure. And then second from that is the Agony. I really like that figure. The head sculpt being too tight on there, it's an issue. I've come across that issue before, so I know how to handle that by now because I've snapped neck joints before, so I'm very cautious about it. I urge you to be very cautious as well. That doesn't excuse the oopsie from Hasbro. I'm just saying, if you don't want to break your figure, be careful with it, you know? And then the Riot, oh man, I'm bummed out about the Riot figure. I don't like the head sculpt, and I don't like the body choice for this guy, and I don't like the color scheme either. It just doesn't match what I remember when I think of Riot in any kind of way. Like, just the colors and the bulk, the size of it, it just doesn't work for me. As I mentioned before, the AOA Sabretooth figure, or a figure of that size, I think would have been perfect for Riot, and I'm curious to know if you guys also feel that way. So I'm going to give them different ratings. Riot, I'm going to give that one a Sud rating of...
I'll wait for the Black Friday sale.
And then Agony, I'm going to give her a Sud rating of...
It's not so bad.
Then Venom gets a Sud rating of...
I love it.
And yeah, that's a little unfortunate. They all get different ratings over here. One thing that bummed me out is that, yeah, you had to buy all three of these to get the Venom figure. If I remember correctly off the top of my head, this is priced at around $75, which I don't think is a totally unreasonable price point for the three figures, but I would have liked it to have been a little bit cheaper to get a little bit more of a smaller Riot, you know what I mean? But anyway, yeah, man, I would like to know what you guys think. I'm definitely curious to know what you have to say about these figures, so please let me know in the comments section below. And if you want to see the latest Marvel news, you can find it all over at marvelousnews.com. And if you want to stay in touch with me on social media, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, and whatnot. Again, tomorrow, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And if not, I will catch you guys later. Peace!
That's crispy.
Hey, new ShartimusPrime videos. Hey, you should click one. Yeah, click on one of them. Or subscribe if you haven't.
Your face.